Welcome to another edition of the Gold Nose Podcast. I am your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. Uh, I mean, I had to really just take some time to calm down after this game. So I wouldn't record something crazy. The offensive play calling is not good. And, you know, I don't know if I said this on the Wednesday podcast, but I just said you're just not making good play calls. Like, again, even going into this game, I felt like the game plan offensively was to establish the run against that three-man front, but you couldn't do it. So, and you had some nice running plays here and there, but for the most part, the running game was not good. And, there was just no imagination. You scored no points in the second half, and then you had a chance to win the game, and then you throw a jump ball to Micah Pittman. He's a good receiver, but he's not a jump ball type receiver. And Jordan Travis put so much air up under that ball, man. I mean, he's made some strides as a quarterback, but I think we're cooling down on the fact that he's like an elite quarterback. We can calm that down a little bit. He's improved tremendously, but he's not one of the elite quarterbacks in the country. Okay? Because that elite quarterbacks don't make that throw. Okay? And he had, just bonehead, scratch your head play calling. Like, just like in the first half and in the third quarter, NC State is blitzing. So what that tells me, run a screen, run a dump off, run the running back out the backfield. Do something. And, when we got to this stretch of games, Wake Forest, NC State, Clemson, I said, we're probably going to go 0-3. I said that. After the Boston College game, I said, we're probably looking at 0-3. And Clemson has the best defensive line in the ACC. So you're going to have to be a little bit more imaginative on offense. You can't just come out there and keep running the read option draw play up the middle. You do not have Alabama's offensive line. You do not have Georgia's offensive line. You're not moving people off the ball. Okay? Your offensive line is improved. Okay? But you're not moving people. And you ran a couple of screenplays, but it was there to be had. I just wanted one win out of these 3 games. And I felt like NC State was the game that we could win. I just felt like Wake Forest, they're not better. They don't have better talent, but they're better coached. They're better conditioned. So I didn't think we could win that game. NC State, I felt like we could win that game because, for all the success that Dave Doeren, quote unquote, has had, he's not like an elite coach. He does stupid stuff. He calls stupid stuff in games too. He does dumb stuff in games too. So I thought the game would stay close, but we gave them that game. We gave them that game. You tried to run the football and you tried to keep it. You tried to, I don't know what you tried to do, but with you just running the football and not being aggressive on offense, you virtually gave them the game. That roughing the passer thing against Farmer, that was total BS. The quarterback was still in the process of throwing the ball. It wasn't targeting. He hit the man in his chest. So I'm just trying to figure out how is that I forget what the call was. Was it unnecessary roughness? I don't know what it was, but it was a BS call, man. But you just had a lot of head scratchers in this game, man. And here comes the best team in the ACC next week. So I give you zero chance to win that game. I give you absolutely zero chances of winning that game. If you can just keep it close, I'll be happy with that. If you can just, if it's a 31-17, 31-24 type game, I'll be happy with that. But I don't give you a chance because Dabo is a better coach in terms of decision making and just, he's not going. Dabo would not let that call happen at the end of the game. That play right there, you do not put the ball. That's why they say bad things happen when you put the ball in the air like that. At the very least, you could have ran a tunnel screen or a traditional screen. You could have did read option. Anything except the likelihood of you coming there. They're playing pass. They're playing the touchdown. They want you to kick the field goal because your kicker has a confidence problem. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm watching the game and I said, okay, they're playing to protect the touchdown. They're going to put this on the kicker. I'm saying that. I'm sitting here watching the game. I said, okay, it's going to come down to the kicker. And I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks. Some of these games are going to come down to Fitzgerald making a game-winning field goal. And you're Mike Norvell. You're the head coach. And you don't know that? You don't know that they're playing the touchdown? And you make that call? Because you're calling the offensive plays. We see you on the sideline with the play call sheet. You're making the calls. So it's just like, what the heck are you calling? So, I mean, the defense actually played pretty good this game. You can't put this on the defense. They was on the field all night because the offense couldn't do nothing. So the defense actually played pretty well. I mean, it's just bonehead, scratch your head, offensive play calling. And like I said, now you got the best team in the conference coming into your crib next week. You're losing this game. Unless you get real imaginative on offense really fast. Like you need to get in the lab and get Micah Pittman. I would run read option with Micah Pittman. I would have Micah Pittman in motion and just he has the running back DNA, bro. Okay? All you got to do is turn on some Deebo Samuel highlights. And that's how you should be using Micah Pittman. Okay? Cam McDonald, not utilized. Tua Philly in the screen game, the traditional screen game, running Tua Philly out the backfield. It's just, we're missing Dillingham right now. I didn't always agree with some of the calls that Dillingham made, but he was a lot more imaginative on offense in terms of his play calling. I don't know what Norvell is doing. I really can't put my finger on it, bro. So I was hoping for 1 and 2. I'm hoping for, and I didn't think I felt like NC State was the game that we could win out of these 3 games. And we gave that game away. So, like I said, if we beat Clemson, hey man, I'm in South Carolina. I'll walk to Tallahassee naked if we beat Clemson. It ain't happening. So, I just don't know where we go from here. We're beating ourselves right now. Coaching wise. You can blame the players, but the players can only run or play the schemes that the coaches call. But like I said, you can't really blame this game on the defense. You really can't. They played pretty well. To hold that team to 19 points, that's a decent performance. So we'll see what happens next week. Thank you for listening. Podcast available on YouTube. It's available on all podcast platforms. As always, go Noles.